Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled among snow-capped mountains and lush forests, there was a princess named Elara. She was known far and wide for her breathtaking beauty, golden hair that shimmered like threads of sunlight, and icy blue eyes that seemed to reflect the winter sky. Elara's family ruled over a land where winter reigned for most of the year. The kingdom was often covered in a delicate layer of snow, and the people had learned to thrive amidst the cold. But for Elara, the cold was more than just the season, it was part of her soul. Since she was little, she had possessed an unusual ability. She could control the snow and ice with a mere flick of her fingers. Her powers were magnificent, though Elara had learned to keep them hidden from the public to avoid stirring fear in the hearts of the people. Despite her magical gift, Elara was a kind and compassionate princess. She spent her days helping the villagers, ensuring that they had enough food to last through the long winters, and using her powers to create beautiful ice sculptures that filled the kingdom with awe. Every year, she hosted a grand festival where she created an ice palace as the centerpiece, its walls sparkling under the moonlight, captivating all who entered. But even with her kind heart, Elara carried a deep loneliness. Her powers made her different from everyone else, and she often wondered if she would ever find someone who could truly understand her. The castle, with its grandeur and beauty, felt like a cold and empty place to Elara. One fateful winter evening, while Elara wandered through the snow-covered forest near the castle, she came across a young man, lost and shivering in the cold. He had wandered too far from his village and had become separated from his group. His name was Leif, a humble traveler who had heard of Elara's kindness and the legendary beauty of her kingdom. Seeing his plight, Elara couldn't bear to leave him out in the cold. With a wave of her hand, she summoned a soft, swirling gust of snowflakes to warm the air around him. The snow melted into a blanket of warmth, and the chill in the forest seemed to fade. Leif looked up in amazement at the princess, his eyes filled with wonder. "You're the princess," he stammered. Elara smiled gently. "I am. But you don't need to worry about that. What matters now is that you're safe." Leif felt a warmth in his heart, not from the magic, but from the kindness in her voice. He realized that, despite her power, Elara was just like him, someone who longed for connection and understanding. They sat together by the fire, exchanging stories, and Elara found herself opening up in a way she hadn't in years. Leif wasn't afraid of her abilities. Instead, he admired her for them. As the days passed, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. Leif returned to the castle with Elara, where they spent countless hours walking through the frozen palace gardens. They laughed in the candlelit halls. For the first time, Elara felt as though she had found someone who truly understood her. Winter passed, and spring arrived, but the bond between Elara and Leif only grew stronger. The once lonely princess, who had lived her life surrounded by snow, had found her true warmth in the heart of another. And as they stood together, watching the sun rise over the snowy peaks, Elara knew that love was the most powerful magic of all. And so, the kingdom thrived, not just under the gentle rule of its beautiful princess, but under the warmth of the love she had found. The princess who once feared the cold, now embraced the warmth of friendship and love. Knowing that she was never truly alone again, they all lived happily ever after.